Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU. I am Mr. Blitkusas. I'm here with Mr. Tyng Lang, coming to you yet again in the off season. Mr. Lang, ready for mock draft action?
Let's get it.
Let's get it going. So, Mr. Lang, why don't you tell everybody what is our format, what we're doing? I will pull this up for everyone.
So format, basically we are doing 12 team, 15 round draft. We have quarterback, two running back, three wide receiver, tight end, full flex. So flex will be wide receiver, running back, tight end, defense, and then six bench positions. So 15 total rounds. I will be picking at the three spot. Billy is picking at the 10 spot. Um, Again, the biggest thing that we're going over is we're going into this draft with draft strategy. This is my strategy for this draft is basically zero RB for obviously a period of time. So I'm going to target my wide receivers, my pass catching guys, wide receivers, my tight ends, and if I throw in a quarterback here and there early, it would obviously add to that strategy. But and then Billy is basically going to be going more of a balanced attack. So you can see how our rosters line up. We'll, kind of throw it out there. And then if you guys want to comment and say who has the better lineup, who you think would actually overperform through the season based on what the draft looks like, throw those comments out there.
Yeah, just a quick point. I made the disclaimer last week. I'll make it again on behalf of Tommy. So honest, we're doing it. We're doing Tommy specifically is doing this for the sake of showing you how it would look. But you never go into a draft a priori saying, I'm going to do this strategy. That's not the right way to do it. You adjust on the fly, especially in the first couple rounds, to adjust how the rest of your team is going to look. You never go in declaring, I don't care what happens, I'm doing X. However, okay, disclaimer aside, we've just for the sake of showing stuff. So Tommy's going to be going a zero RB strategy. I'm going to be making the best picks as we go. So more than likely just to balance stuff. So disclaimers out the way. We could
And
roll
we are going to
whenever,
start this draft.
rock and roll whenever
So
we're ready.
Jamar Chase goes off the board, Barkley goes off the board, and I am on the clock. So at this point, normally I would take Bijan Robinson, but and since I am specifically going wide receiver, my next wide receiver off the board that on my list is CeeDee Lamb over Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
So I am taking CeeDee Lamb with my number three pick. After that, Bijan Robinson goes, Justin Jefferson goes. St. Brown goes, Gibbs goes, Nakua goes, and Henry goes, and Billy is on the clock.
Yeah. So Tommy, just to reiterate, what are the three wide receiver starters, two running backs, one flex, correct?
Correct.
Okay, in leagues like that, the wide receiver value is buffed more than it normally is. There's almost no situation in the first round that I would take a wide receiver. There's exceptions, but like a lot, I've really tried to focus on a running back and normal two running back, two wide receivers. In this case, there's three, so I will definitely consider wide receivers. And top on my list here, I'm a bit worried about the Malik Neighbors kind
And
of.
I will say this though too, and let me just drop this out there.
Sure.
So it's very interesting to see Derrick Henry go in the first round this early in the first round
In the
over,
three, right?
yep, especially in a full point PPR draft. Obviously, Sleeper has a lot of different AI technology that goes based off of the consistencies of drafts. So Derrick Henry has creeped up the board.
However, I do want to mention there's definitely some good running backs here. So Jonty and McCaffrey, who are right up there for me, higher. I have them ranked higher than Henry on my board. It's really hard to pass them up for, I don't know, a Nico Collins, who like there's a bit of a drop off here. I'm falling on Thomas a little bit, Drake London, and falling on Lad McConkey. So like the guys here, actually, there's like a massive tier break. I'm worried about Malik Neighbors. You know what? I'm going to go with Nico Collins here because I am worried about Malik Neighbors and there's a drop off in wide receivers. And hopefully I could grab myself either Jonty McCaffrey or Achan uh, on the turn. I am on the 10th, so hopefully one of those guys drops. I'm going to grab Nico Collins in a three wide receiver starting
I'm
league.
very, I'm very, I'm very impressed that you're going Nico Collins there and not taking Christian McCaffrey as
And
off the board.
it paid off here. So after I grabbed Collins, Neighbors went off the board. Brian Thomas, Christian McCaffrey went. No surprise there. Bucky Irving. So
Do
If
not take Berkey Irving
no,
this early.
no, we're lower on Irving than consensus. If Jonty had gone, I would be happily grabbing Devon Achan here, especially in a full PPR. But Jonty's there. I love me some Ashton Jonty. Is about as safe as they're going to come this year. I'm grabbing Jonty. So I got myself my wide receiver and my top end running back. After Jonty goes, Achan's right off the board. Bowers, Josh Allen, AJ Brown, Drake London, Josh Jacobs, and now Tommy's back on the block.
All right, so I'm continuing my strategy as a wide receiver or pass catching zero RB for a period of time. So I am going to be passing on some of these premier running backs that I would like to look at. But as I'm looking at the draft right now, um, I do like Lad McConkey, but again, as we were talking about Keenan Allen, I think he's going to have a presence there, which is going to take away some value. So I may have to pass on Lad McConkey here. There's two other players that I feel fairly good about right now. First one is Trey McBride. Obviously, he was tremendous all season last year. As a pass catching tight end, he's going to have a tremendous year. The next person that, a more risky play of a pick right here at this position right here would be a Tyreek Hill. I do feel really high on Tyreek Hill this year. Um, but I think at this position, based on value and being healthy in the system, I will be taking Trey McBride with this pick. And then after that goes Lamar Jackson, McConkey goes, Taylor goes, and then I was hoping that that Hill would fall back, but Tyreek Hill goes right before I get to go. And I am back on the clock. So we are very low on JSN. He is the next technically ADP player to come off the board. I am passing on running backs. Unfortunately, I'm passing on Kyron Williams and Chase Brown. I would love to have some Chase Brown here. But again, I'm basing this draft based on where do I have to target these players if I'm going a specific strategy. Again, as Billy said earlier, you don't go like this, right? What I want to do is I want to show what my team is going to line up
Sure.
as through this draft, so you can say, hey, listen, like if it falls this way because these players actually get taken before, this is how your draft potentially can be revived, right? So,
And by the way, that's an interesting point because if you weren't playing that way, I mean, I feel like Chase or Kyron here would be the pick, right?
oh yeah,
So
100%. I mean, pretty much for full point PPR, I would take Chase Brown over, over Kyron, especially what's happening in the quarterback room there.
yep.
You just don't know what Stafford's going to be 100% this season. So, Puka Nacua going as early as he is, it's definitely taken a little bit of a dip on my board. But
Yeah.
going back to my pick,
Mhm.
there are two players that I'm really looking at right here. The first one is Garrett Wilson, and the second one is T. Higgins. I feel that based on my depth right now that I have, having McBride and having Lamb, I have a nice baseline. I know that T. Higgins is going to miss a couple games most likely this year, but I'm going to take that risk with the missed games over the uh, the unknown, I would say, in the Jets passing game, and I'll take T. Higgins. After that, JSN goes, luckily for Billy, because he was so high on JSN, he really wanted to take JSN so bad. Then Kyron Williams goes. That's a joke. Brown goes. Hall goes. Marvin Harrison goes, which I love, but I
Oh,
wouldn't want to double dip on
right,
that Arizona
right.
passing game right there. And then, our darling Jaden Daniels goes, and Billy's back on the clock.
I'm back on the clock. I can tell you exactly who I'm feeling right now. Garrett Wilson to me is a value here. I
That's a
probably
tremendous value.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to be grabbing Garrett Wilson because to me there's a major drop off here in some wide receiver value from that tier. At the running backs, it seems like there's a lot of good backs that I'd be perfectly happy with on the way back. Top on the list is Kamara on the turn. Uh, James Cook just got paid. It's probably a better value at this point. Not feeling Kenneth Walker. Chuba's back. So like I'm hoping it'll be Kamara on the way back. If not, Cook is definitely available. I would take the shot on Hampton too. He's here. We haven't talked enough about we've been holding off. We'll save it for next week, talking about the Hampton situation because of the Najee injury. Hopefully we get more information on that. We'll get into that next week. But yes, Hampton would be a value to me the next round. But at this point, I'm not going to pass up Garrett Wilson. I'll grab him. So Garrett Wilson off the board, Jalen Hurts, George Kittle. George Kittle would have been an option, but like to me, he's just going. Man, his ADP just got bumped so high. McLaurin's off the board, James Cook, and now I can full
And
PPR.
Billy, do me a favor, open up your roster.
Yeah, sure.
Just keep your roster open so we could check that out there.
Yeah. John T's my running back. I got Collins and Wilson at wide receiver. So back on the clock here. I mean, I got my choice here of Hampton and Kamara. And man, I haven't fully grasped how I feel about Hampton given the Najee Harris situation. So it's a full point PPR. Kamara's likely to last me for the first couple of games. I could trade him away. You know what? Given the Harris situation, I'll go for some upside here. Uh,
I
Tommy's
mean,
gonna,
but you don't draft players to trade them away.
yeah.
You know how much that works.
I'm gonna go with Hampton here because I'll try it something different. I am just on sheer how I feel about the situation. I'm feeling better about it. And Kamara goes right before Tommy. So after Hampton, Mike Evans is off the board. Devontae Adams, Chuba Hubbard, Ken Walker, Rashee Rice, Kamara. So three running backs went off the board before Tommy. He's back
Yep, and
now.
that's nice because clearly I'm stating my presence with my pass catchers right now. So there are a couple players that are on here. I do feel that at least one or two of them may fall back to my next pick, and that will solidify my pass catchers position. Areas with also the flex. I'm looking at obviously DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, and Devonta Smith. We all have them pretty much in the same category when it comes down to tiers. So I do value a lot of these guys in really the same area. So the one though that really stands out more is obviously Cortland Sutton. I really can't pass on him. So I'm going to take Cortland Sutton with this pick here, and hopefully one of those players that I just said falls back to me on the back end. After that, Metcalf goes, Burrow goes, Flowers goes, and then DJ Moore goes, and I'm back on the clock, which leaves Devonta Smith for me to fill that role right there. But there's another player that, based on that, as you go a little bit deeper, Jamison Williams, I do feel is going to have a tremendous year. I will potentially, based on the passing volume, feel more comfortable taking Jamison Williams over Devonta Smith this year. So in this position right here, as my wide receiver four coming off the board, I'll take Jamison Williams. And
A
then the
lot of
next
drafts, a lot of drafts you've had Jameson Williams
Yeah,
actually.
I'm feeling really good with him this year. I think he's going to have a tremendous year.
Ah,
After that, Joe Mixon goes early. Laporta goes.
damn it.
Devonta Smith, Pacheco, Henderson, and Worthy go, and Billy's on the clock.
Man, Worthy for me is automatic in the fifth. Basically in every draft. I really believe in it. The upside is there. Rashee Rice's situation, yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to grab him there, especially in this draft. All right, let's glance around. So I'm not feeling any of these running backs. There's some guys later on that I think are just better shots. Um, although the Connor situation, I think Connor, I mean, he's going to be the guy early. If I had drafted Kamara earlier, I would not be drafting Connor now because I'm doubling up on early stuff. So, um, back to the wide receivers. I mean, Pickens, like we said, the upside is there because we believe in the Dallas offense. Ted McMillan, he is walking in as the number one guy for the Panthers. Huge, huge, huge upside there. Waddle's still available. Of course, the Dolphins could implode this year. Given the situation, I think I'm going to be grabbing wide receiver. And again, we haven't finalized our full rankings with this. I'm going to go with, I think, I know this is a difficult little pick here for me. Let's go with George Pickens. Let's do it. He'll be, I just, I just think that the Dallas offense is just going to be ending up passing every play with an established thing. Yeah, I'm just feeling it. Now I'm back on the clock, and it turns out that Ted McMillan's still available. So I mean, that's definitely an option for me. By the way, after Pickens went, James Conner's off the board, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Hunter, and TJ Hawkinson. I wasn't even considering a tight end there. I know Kelsey's still on the board, but I'm feeling like I could just take better shots on in a league like this where you're starting so many skill position players. Like you could punt on your onesies. So I'm gonna grab Ted McMillan here, load up on some good wide receivers with some huge upside. I'm happy with that. So After McMillan, Kelsey's off the board, Harvey's off the board, Montgomery, Olave, Baker, Judkins, and now Tommy's on the board. Tommy's on the clock.
Yeah, so I'm going to probably finalize my last pass catch here, just to have a little bit of depth in the position. This player kind of stands out. I mean, I've been talking really high on him this week and recently as well too. Calvin Ridley is a massive value. He is pretty much in the next tier from basically the Jameson Williams Sutton tier that I'm looking at right here, and I'm going to take Calvin Ridley here, and then I'm going to have to obviously do some dirty work to get some running backs on the board. So, um, having said that, we talked about the Bears this week. And fortunately, I'm able to start my draft with the running back
By
room.
the way, before you make your pick, Caleb Johnson went off the board, Adunze, Aaron
Sorry.
Jones, Jalen Waddle, and out. Yeah, you're up. Yeah.
Yep. So fortunately, I'm able to start my running back room in the seventh round with DeAndre Swift. I think obviously he's going to have a tremendous year. Well, maybe not heavy tremendous year, but I think he's going to have a lot of volume. He has a good offensive line in front of him. Caleb Williams is going to make a little bit more. He's going to make better decisions this year. I think it's a great, really good start to have DeAndre Swift as my RB1 as of right now. Then after that, Tony Pollard goes, Chris Godwin, the law firm of Myers goes,
Ugh.
Evan Ingram goes, Judy goes, Addison goes, and Billy's back on the clock.
Yeah, so we should point out like there's a couple of these guys starting in like the seventh round or so that are these like later round darlings that we like. For if you're gonna go hero RB or if you just want late shots at running back, DeAndre Swift is among them. Tony Pollard, especially now with the Tajay Spears injury, 100% among them. Brian Robinson's still on the board, who I probably will be taking here to Tommy's detriment. He's on the board, but a lot of these guys are just really good late round shots. Before I just grab up on Robinson, I'll just glance at the QB situation. It's hard to pass up on Bo Nix, given how we feel about it. However, there's some better, not better, there's some good late round shots we could take that maybe get me more ADP value, which I'll try to go with. I cannot pass up a Brian Robinson here, not the way that we feel about it. Really bolster up my running back room. I'm grabbing Brian Robinson here. Cooper Kupp's off the board. Debo is off the board. Again, Debo is hard to measure given the McLaurin situation, but we'll see. Tyrone Tracy, Khalil Shakir off the board, going much later now given his high ankle sprain situation. Now I'm back up. Travis Etienne, he's available here. It's the late round wide receiver running back darlings. On the wide receiver side, we've got Diggs is available, Jennings is available, who I'm feeling good about.
Bo Nix
I
is looking really
I
nice right
know
now.
Pearsall is going right after Jennings.
Oh
That's the
yeah,
one.
Bo Nix is look really good right now.
I know Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is looking really good right now.
I'm gonna pass on Bo Nix because there's later round shots I could take. So I'm more than likely I'll be grabbing a a wide receiver here. I'm gonna go with I could get the peppering of targets with Diggs, or I could go with the upside in Jennings. Um, I've been You know what? I've been calling my shot with Jennings all year. I'll stick with Jennings here. So wide receiver on Jennings. Um, so after Jennings goes, Warren's off the board. There goes Bo Nix, Diggs, uh, Ty, Ty Warren, Travis Etienne's off the board. Jared Goff is off the board, and now Tommy's back. Tommy's been lamenting that he could not get Travis Etienne. So I see one, maybe two picks that are possible here for you
Yeah.
for running
Yeah,
back.
it's a shame that this is how the draft is going, but you know what? It's not where you start, it's where you finish. So I will actually you know what? I am going to pass on running back, unfortunately, right now. Um, and I'm going to take another wide receiver for depth. I'm going to take Emeka Ibuka. I think that's a great pick for me to take right there, even though he is technically my one, two, three,
Oh,
four, five, sixth wide receiver. I
Jordan
did
Mason
miss
was a late
Jordan
round
Mason.
shot.
I thought maybe it would fall, but it's okay. Things happen. That's why we play fantasy football for a season. So basically, I do have an option of needing to basically take a week one starter. Week one starter, basically Javonte Williams. I believe that he's going to have early season numbers. I don't think it's going to be throughout the season. Or J.K. Dobbins. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to have an early good start. He could be a good baseline for me to have as my RB2, potentially putting up some pretty heavy numbers week one, week two, week three on a really good offense. So I will take J.K. Dobbins with this pick
Yep.
here. After that, Kyler Murray
Uh,
goes, Golden goes, Herbert goes, Pearsall goes, and then Scattaboo goes, and then Njoku. Now remember, Scattaboo actually there's been talk that he may be missing a lot more time
that's right.
than expected. So buyer beware with Scattaboo. I do think that he can have a really nice season this year, but again, I do think he needs to fall a little bit more in drafts for you to feel comfortable with taking him.
Yeah, so I'm on the board here. Definitely
And
some wide receivers.
team four just doubling up with quarterbacks back to back
Yeah.
rounds, by the way.
Yeah, annoyingly, I would have loved to grab Kyler. Definitely one of my late round shots. In terms of late round shots, Kyler, um, Dak Prescott, and Justin Fields are like on the thing for me. Justin Fields would be interesting because I'd be taking the stack with Garrett Wilson. But I've got me some George Pickens, so I'm worried about Team 11 or Team 12 doubling up on quarterback. So I'm gonna grab me some Dak Prescott here.
Oh, yeah.
So Darnell Mooney off the board, who is not even playing. Javonte Williams, there goes the last volume back. Najee Harris is now off the board. I would have considered him as basically locking up that backfield, and Downs goes, unfortunately. So now I'm back on the clock. That was my that's kind of what I was kind of aiming for. It did not work out. So now we're
How do you feel
into
about taking Dak Prescott?
here.
Yeah.
Uh, that's fine. I mean, I would have loved to
No, but
grab,
you knew I was going for him. I actually there was the J.K. Dobbins where I was like, you know what, I should take Dak Prescott right now,
but
but
you
I
needed a
do need an
back.
RB2.
Yeah, you needed a back. On the running back side, like running backs and wide receivers now, we're really getting into like far territory. So on the running back side, I mean, not feeling good about any of these guys here. The maybe the best one would be like Eckler or something, but then I'm like just locking up the Washington backfield. I've already got Brian Robinson. I'd like to try to take more shots. Um, just glancing down the list, I could grab me some Garendo and the McCaffrey owner at this point should have already locked him up. Um, Given that Garendo's going to be back before any of the other 19 backs that they got in San Francisco actually come back. Ray Davis is always an option because like they give both of those backs a lot of work. Jerome Ford is an option. I would love to grab him. I have a feeling he might be a late round shot for Tommy on the way back. Wide receiver side, no way I'm grabbing Ayuk. Higgins, I've already got Collins. I'm doubling up there. Keon Coleman for the upside. It's really interesting. But I think at this point I could just grab a tight end and see my later round shots on the way back. So I'll go tight end here. I have been on the side of grabbing me some Dalton Kincaid. I think the upside there is big. I also think the upside for Pitts is big. They're both right around the same thing. I'll go with Kincaid. Yeah, we'll go with that. As I feel good about it. Charbonnet's off the board. Loveland, Ayuk, Brock Purdy's off the board. There goes Higgins, Tucker Craft, and now Tommy's back. So
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, Purdy was pretty much my next pick, and it's okay. You know, it
he
just
was
is.
pre he was pretty much your next pick.
Yeah, it was pretty much my next pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is what happens in drafts again. So, I do need more depth at running back. I do need to look at this position to continue, obviously bolstering that area. At this point, I don't need to jump on a quarterback. I'm not really too heavy in love with Jordan Love because of the injury that he has. Obviously, CJ Stroud, we're feeling decent with him, but is he going to make a comeback third year? Caleb Williams, is he going to have a sophomore slump, or is he going to basically pass for 4,000 yards, be the first and only quarterback on the Bears on Chicago to actually surpass 4,000 yards in the season? Justin Fields is a value. There's some quarterbacks there that I think that I look at as values. I mean, not a lot of people are on Trevor Lawrence, but I am on Trevor Lawrence based on the values that he has. So if I just continue to let this trend go, there are some running backs that I do feel fairly comfortable to, basically bolster my starting position. Um, the for a lot of these are not really like season long kind of guys. But I'm going to look at this here. Early season, Nick Chubb would be somebody that I'd feel comfortable with basically taking in this position. But there's another running back that I'd really feel good about throughout the remaining part of the season. I don't think Javonte Williams is going to be all season. I think the next person in line is Jaden Blue. He had a
Interesting.
really good college career at Texas. Um, and I really think that he's a great opportunity to add to this roster here. I do think on the way back I could grab, another running back, and then I could really start having to look at my quarterback room where I'm going to be just streaming quarterback this year in this draft. But I'll take Jaden Blue here as my third running back off the board. After that, basically Kyle Pitts goes, Pittman goes, C.J. Stroud, and then Ramondre Stevenson goes. This other player that I'm really looking at as well too. He did get injured. High ankle sprain. It's not going to be something that's going to linger into the late in the season. As of right now, I have Swift and Dobbins, who I think that can really get me at least through to week 3, 4 consistently. I'm going to take Tajay Spears with this position here. He is a pass catching
Given
running.
given given the injury too.
Yep.
I
Given
mean,
the injury, it's fine. Unfortunately, that's the route I have to go with what I got right here. So I will be taking Spears there. Then after that, Coleman goes, Ferguson, the Ravens defense, Goddard goes, the Eagles defense, and the Steelers defense go, and Billy's on the clock.
yeah, I'm gonna go. So yeah, on the wide receiver side, we've got Shaheed, we've got Trey Harris, Marvin Mims, Luther Burden, Christian Kirk, at least at the top of the ADP. Kyle Williams, Rashad Bateman, Adam Thielen. I mean, I'm not feeling great about these wide receivers. Keenan Allen's definitely a shot we could take for straight up volume. Um, Hollywood Brown, and then Jalen McMillions later on. Jalen McMillions is one of my, and it's funny, Jalen McMillions and Wan'Dale Robinson are among our favorite late round shots. For guys. So they'll be on in my target area. Running backs, there's not a chance. Like man, these guys just look awful. I am probably gonna grab me some. The Jerome Ford and Isaac Garendo are my kind of my favorite ones here because at the very least, I mean Garendo is an unbelievable player if McCaffrey uh, doesn't work out. And I'll try to target maybe Keenan Allen or like we said, Keenan Allen or Jalen McMillian later. So maybe I could grab me some Garendo now. Yeah, I'll do that. It's for the upside. If McCaffrey goes down, Garendo's the man. So we'll go Garendo. Caleb Williams is off the board. Jordan Love, Commanders, and the Broncos. Now, look, I just want to point out to me, the Broncos are by far the best fantasy defense, not only because they're a great defense, but also their week one matchup is pretty amazing. So I'll be looking at that. But I mean, you don't need to overdo it. They're taking defenses like rounds ahead of stuff. So back on the clock here. Trey Benson we need to keep an eye on guys like Trey Benson because Connor's not going to last the whole year. And it's at some point they got to get their other guy in there to make moves. So Trey Benson is very talented. That having been said, I said I would try to grab McMillian or Keenan Allen. I could wait for them on the way back. They might last. A lot of people don't have defenses yet. Yeah, so let me see how far down the ADP they are. Keenan Allen and I said Jalen McMillan. Yeah, we got a little while on them. So the other running back pick here, I could do Jerome Ford. So those are my three targets on the way back: Jerome Ford, Keenan Allen, and Jalen McMillan. So I got to pick which one. I'll go wide receiver because I kind of need it. I need another backup wide receiver. So we'll go. Um, Yeah, we'll go Keenan Allen here. Straight up targets, full PPR. Rashid Shaheed's off the board. Drake May, the Vikings defense, Trey Harris is off the board. Justin Fields, Not a good draft for Mr. Lang. Marvin Mims, and now Tommy is on the board.
It's interesting because everybody's taking their. I mean, it's fine. I mean, people are taking their second quarterbacks. Let them do it. I guess I'm gonna have to figure this out when it comes down to quarterback. But
Oh man, the options are bad now.
they're bad, and you know what? I could. It's just gonna make me wait. So, um, yeah.
Punt it.
Yep, it's gonna make me wait. So the next position that I'm looking for, let me just see here. Let me see if he's still available. Oh, sorry. The next position I'm looking for is obviously running back still. Jerome Ford, as Billy was discussing earlier, he's going to start week one as the RB1, so he could be in the mix. Those other two running backs that I took are more middle to late in the season kind of guys that I could plug in. But I'm going to take Jerome Ford with this position right here, giving me five running backs to work with. Then
Sure.
after that, the line Chubb goes, Lions goes, Lions defense goes, Ertz goes, and then Bigsby goes, and I'm back on the clock. Um, now, I'm not really big on taking defenses at this point in time still. I pretty much can stream defense, you know, on and off. There are some really good high value defenses that I'd feel comfortable with taking, late in the draft, 14th round, 15th round potentially. But I do think now I do need to make a decision on a quarterback and being this lack of quarterback, I'm probably going to have to take two quarterbacks that I feel okay with, and basically to start the season. Um, Tua is not, he's never been the greatest through health and staying through a season, but I do think that he can have a decent week one. So I'm looking at Tua. I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence going against Carolina, which is a weak defense, and obviously Cam Ward. He's going against Denver. I just don't feel like I can really pull the trigger on him. But to start the season, I'll probably go with the better options that we've seen for the past number of years when it comes down to pass catchers. And I'll go with Tua as technically my week one streamer. And then I'll see how the rest of the draft kind of lines up for that. Then after that, Burton goes, White goes, Likely goes, Kirk goes, Williams goes, and then Davis goes, and Billy's back on the clock.
I'm back on the clock here, and so there is a defense that I'm targeting. But to Tommy's point, like I could probably get it in the 15th round. Although I'm just gonna get it in the 14th just to make sure because, like we said, like you could just play matchups, and there's one defense left that's got an amazing matchup left. That would be the Cardinals defense.
Oh, you.
So I'll get them and then I'll get them in the next round to make sure that I get them. But before that, I gotta make sure. So I got I'm really balanced, so I could go running back or wide receiver here. The only running backs that I would even consider would be Benson. I would consider Braylon and Allen because people are considering that it's going to be some kind of a committee backfield, but we'll wait and see. Benson's available, Braylon Allen's available as good running back options. I could probably get them if I wait. One of them will at least show up. On the wide receiver side, I do wanted to get I did want to get my McMillan pick. I think he's criminally underrated. He was too good last year, especially in an amorphous kind of Chris Godwin coming up to speed situation. I think McMillan's going to be good at least to start with. I'm going to go with McMillan here. Uh, After McMillan, Bateman's off the board. Bayshaw Tootin, he's off the board. Eckler's gone. Benson's gone. So my last shot at running back that I would consider, like I said, is Braylon Allen. Maybe I'll get him in the 15th. But like I said here, I'm gonna get me some Arizona Cardinals, uh, and be happy with my week one win. McCarthy is off the board. Good luck at Thielen's off the board. Cam Ward is now off the board. Samson the Cleveland running back. Samson's off the board. Bills are gone. Texans are gone. Tommy's on the clock. I cannot wait to see what pick this is.
Yeah, so obviously having Tua as my week one starter, you can do multiple things. You can really just plug and play and just, see how the matchups go for the rest of the week and see how Tua goes, how he plays week one and take it from there. Or I can basically, potentially double up on quarterback. I'm not really I'm not really on that train to want to do something like that. But I am feeling fairly good about this one player since my running back room is not, I wouldn't say scarce, it's just not as strong as my wide receiver room. I'm gonna add another
Well,
player to
obviously you went zero RB strategy, so of
I'm
course.
going to add another player that I think is going to have a really nice season because I don't think that they're actually week one starters going to have the greatest season. And I'm going to take Braylon Allen with this
Okay.
14-10 pick. 49ers defense goes, Beck goes, Algier goes, Trevor Lawrence goes, and I'm back on the clock and I need a defense. So week one, basically I'm looking at kind of like a streaming defense kind of
Hmm.
element. Week one, this team usually surprises, and they showed fairly good, composure, especially in the preseason. They have a really great coach, and I think that this defense is going to put a little bit of a stop hold on all the hype for Alshon Jantty week one. I don't think it's going to be a full season ordeal, but I think there's going to be a lot of pressure from the Patriots defense, and I will take the Patriots
Ooh.
defense to be my week one starter.
It's also you just don't like Geno Smith. So
Well, Gino is trash.
that's okay.
Then
Uh
after that, Hunter Henry goes, Rico, not Suave Dowdle goes, Kareem Hunt goes. Um, Hollywood Brown goes, Wright goes, Thornton goes, and Billy is on the clock with his final pick.
Yeah, final pick here. I could go the Tommy Wandell Robinson here. I do not feel anywhere near the way he does about Robinson. But the thing is, like to Tommy's point, he what do you have? Like 100 some he had a whole lot of targets that nothing ever happened with, but he did. On the running back side, I think that Roshan is an option as a late round shot. I think he's a talented back and he's the backup back to DeAndre Swift there. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So Roshan would be my running back pick.
Yeah, but you know what you're getting from Roshan. He's not going to really do much.
Yeah, there's not a chance that I would take any of those some of these other names here at at ADP for running for you know what? I'm gonna go Roshan Johnson. We'll just see upside again. It's a mock, so I think it's an option. I could always get rid of him, see what's going on. So that's the end there. Let's just quickly go over the roster real quick. Now remember, Tommy went 0 RB. I went to maximize my draft. Quarterback Dak Prescott, running backs Ashton Jonty, Omarion Hampton. Wide receivers, Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, tight end Dalton Kincaid. My flex currently is Tet McMillan. My defense is Arizona. Really good matchup against the Saints in week one. And my bench is Brian Robinson, Juwan Jennings, Isaac Guerrero, Keenan Allen, Jane McMillions, and Roshan. This is actually one of my better mock drafts. This is actually very, very good. I'm happy with my team.
And my team basically starts with Tua as quarterback. I took him in the 13th round, so that's where I was able to target a quarterback. Then after that, DeAndre Swift and J.K. Dobbins are as my week one starters. Then my wide receiver room, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton. Very, very nice wide receiver room right there. And then you got Trey McBride, early pick right there, tight end. Jamison Williams is my flex. I think that's super solid right there. New England Patriots is my defense for week one. Then on my bench, I got Calvin Ridley, Emeka Ibuka, Jaden Blue, Tajay Spears, Jerome Ford, and Braylon Allen.
Very good. So for anybody watching, comment, tell us how good or how bad I did, who you think won the draft, and why it was me. And if anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. We're very happy to very happy to engage.
Yeah,
We talked about it in our other show, but we've got a big show coming next week. We'll do our final rankings and a big injury roundup and contract, and then we're getting ready to the season. So we're very very happy to have you guys on with
yeah.
us. Closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, and also, I forget what the date was for that one. I think it's 2 weeks from today. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, we're gonna have a really fun show.
Right.
With actually we're going to bring some guests on that really have not engaged with our platform before. One probably recurring guest as Billy's brother Johnny will join us, but there will be at least two more people that haven't really engaged in our new platform of Fantasy Football University, and they'll be bringing their own like little commentary. We'll have some fun with that show. But again, we really love everybody that engages with us on TikTok, everybody that takes the time to watch the videos. Again, we are on every platform now, all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. So if you could click link to subscribe, click the bell, get notified basically when we drop our content. We'll be dropping two pieces of content a week right now, plus also shorts on TikTok. So we appreciate everybody that takes the time and watch it. And again, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.